Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Sorry about the 8-minute delay. I know this timing once again is quite off. Anyway, happy October everyone. So I'm just gonna give it a couple of minutes before all of you join me in. I don't see anyone yet. It probably is because of, the timing. I'm still in Europe, so got to bear with me with the timing. So I'm gonna start because I know all of you all watch the pre-recorded version. So this week we are going to talk about split soul twin flames and all about split soul twin flames. And even though there are a lot of differences between monadic twin flames and split soul twin flames, there are still certain distinctive factors, especially when it comes to while you're in separation, um, when the whole journey is embarking, things like that. Oh, I see two viewers now. Guys, show me you're here. Say hi and tell me how your week has been and how everything has been going with you. All right, split soul twin flames. Separation is like the greatest pain ever. I mean, it's the same for monadic flames as well. But with split soul twin flames, it's literally like, like just imagine yourself and you splitting into two and the pain of not being able to be together. So that's how painful it is. Hi, Becca. Oh, likewise, excited to talk about this as well. And so happy to see you guys every week. So, as usual, due to the timeline change, timing change, what am I saying? Timeline change. All right, more of you guys are joining in. So let me know, how have you guys been? How has it been? Mercury retrograde is going to be over, guys. Isn't that exciting? No more technological issues. No more flare ups in plans or changes or anything like that. So it's so exciting that Mercury is going to go direct. In fact, it is going to go direct as we speak. 3rd of October onwards, Mercury goes direct. So now communication with your twin is going to ease up a little. As I was telling you guys last week, due to Mercury retrograde, you guys want to just, tone down a bit on the communication with your twins. Hi, MJ. So good to see you. Hi, Belinda. So good to see you. So good to see you guys. I know this timing is weird, but what to do? In Europe, it is 7:44 a.m. and I'm such a morning person, you see. Maybe next week I'll try to do it at night, but we'll see about that. All right. Today we're going to talk about split soul twin flames, what exactly they go through during separation, and what are the lessons that they kind of need to learn before they can get into union. So, it is important to fundamentally understand what split soul twin flames are. Before that, I'm going to read some comments. Rough week, but realized it had to be my DM. Must have been going through shit, so I was able to shift. Oh, all right. Okay, now it's better. Shift quickly. All right, split soul twin flames. Like I explained earlier in the video, when your soul is literally split into two, and just imagine not being able to be together. It's like one limb is attached to, to another person. Like a part of you is somewhere else. So that's why the longing and yearning is unexplainable. The pain of being a split soul twin flame is so extreme. And that's why you would have noticed how analogies like Romeo and Juliet, uh, based on the previous era, like how there's always a lot of obstacles for union. So with split soul twin flames, there are many, 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 many obstacles. And 100 years ago, it was societal, that's how society was, But now, you guys are your own obstacles or challenges. So if you see 100 years ago, two twin flames, they will meet, and then due to being in different classes in society, they can't get together. Family members might oppose. But in today's day and age, we don't have such issues. But the biggest issue is you, because you self sabotage your own path towards union. And often it's because you do not pay attention to the lessons you need to learn. And you see, I don't really like to use the word lessons, and then after that it becomes very, I need to go through this, it becomes very procedural. But twin flame connection isn't about being procedural either. So it's vital to understand that besides what you feel, it is also what you're going through. These are two essential factors. So you may feel one thing, but you're going through something else. So you may be feeling, I want to be with my twin flame, all I want, but then you're not with your twin flame, right? And so you have your feeling, you have your emotions, and then you have reality on what is going through. But between these three, you do not realize that why this thing is happening. For example, you keep saying, I want to be in union, I want to be in union, I want to be union. So, what is union to you? That's a big question that you may want to start. Oh, I'm looking. Oh, do you do pend? No, not during. I do live channeling. So, yes, Cherry. Hello, Jack. Yeah, back to, you see, now I'm going in a flow right now. So, what you're going through and what you're experiencing, what you're feeling, and what you're expressing, these things matter. So, for example, like I just put out the question to you, what is union to you, and what do you think is going to happen after union? So, union in itself is not like the final, you get together with your twin and happily ever after. If you do not vibrationally maintain that frequency, you're going to go into separation again. So, it's not about getting into union, but it's about preparing yourself to raise your vibration. Hi, beautiful. Hi, Twila. Hi, Jack. I hope you're well. And hi, Linda. And hi to everyone. Linda says hi to everyone. So, as I was saying, that's why it's so vital to actually pay attention to what you're going through and feeling. And often premature union happens, and then it backfires big time. And a big lesson, or a big lesson is kind of taught through that, because you both realize that you are not ready to be together. So for instance, you have got a lot of issues, childhood trauma, um sexual issues, like past life issues, a lot of issues, right? And if you don't heal them, and if you're trying to be in union with your divine masculine, what happens is you guys start having a lot of misunderstanding. And it is not like a normal relationship, where you can fake it till you make it. It doesn't work that way with twin flames. What you feel, what you experience, what is going through your mind, your divine masculine or twin flame feels exactly 100%. So you cannot really lie to your twin flame. Oh, thank you, Jack. That is so sweet of you. Comments like this really, really, uh, very grateful to you guys for that. Hello, Shay. All right. I was just explaining how twin flame connection is very different to other connections because you cannot lie to your partner in any way. You may not say something like, "Hey, I'm doing so well, I love you," and then inside your heart, you have all these insecurities expanding. So just see it this way: your twin flame reads your energies, not your words. So you may say one thing, you may do another thing, but yet none of it will give you the outcome you're looking for because this is all in the vibration. So that's why healing is such a big part in the journey. But again, it's not about healing blindly either. It's healing with realization. For instance, you were bullied in school, right? It's not going to heal overnight. And bullying in itself, for example, I'm using a generic example like being bullied in school because of, I don't want to go into anything more sensitive than that. So, example, you're being bullied in school and how it made you feel. It made you feel vulnerable. It made you feel like you had no control, like you were powerless in the situation. For example, your teacher kept screaming at you or making you stand outside class for no particular reason. And as a child, like, 15-year-old child, you don't understand what is going on. You think something is wrong with you. And that's when that issue starts forming identity, how you see yourself, how you place yourself in front of society. And this is not going to heal overnight, like a couple of Reiki sessions. No, it takes a while. Important thing is how you deal with it. Acknowledgement is key. Acknowledging that you have such an issue is paramount in this journey because healing without awareness is like taking the wrong medication for the wrong illness. And a lot of healing starts happening when you recognize what it is that's holding you back. So you have to look at it in terms of themes. So, for example, the incident in itself or a series of incidents, how did it make you feel? Always ask the question, how did it make you feel? And from there, you slowly work backwards. So, if fear is what you need to overcome, or example, even some habits such as like you may not like being in an environment or you may not want to be in a certain place with certain people, and all this has got root issues and root causes. And that's why with split soul twin flames, often when they are split, the issues tend to be split as well. And that's why the mirroring is so on par. So your divine masculine is literally you in another body. So for instance, you have certain issues to work on with regards to fear, and you keep hiding it under the carpet, like literally, you don't want to deal with it. And because trauma is not easy to deal with, guys, that's the reality. You can't just open up a wound and look at it and try to heal it. It's going to take a while and it takes a lot of effort in the 3D human world to actually heal. And even then, healing in itself is a process. It goes through cycles as well. You may feel like, hey, I've overcome this issue and now I'm good to move on and now I can be in union. And if you're going to think this way, then guys, it's going to take forever to be in union, and literally forever. Reiki is wonderful, guys. I'm a Reiki master myself, and I teach, and I have taught a lot of students. And I would say, see, Reiki is very masculine, so you follow a certain rule, like rules, and then Isis Sejim. I also, do Isis Sejim healing, teach as well. It's very feminine. So it's good to have all these healing tools, and you would feel, especially, being a Reiki master, you actually have like a gap of a year. So that's the time you go out and practice and really expose yourself. So I'm really excited for you, Jack. It is going to be really. In fact, I do teach Reiki mastery too. So if you're interested, you can always sign up with me as well. Anyway, back to the topic, healing. And again, split soul twin flames, there's a lot of confusion like what split soul twin flames are. So I've tried to make it as simple as possible. So monadic twin flames are split in a higher dimension before entering the material realms. Split soul twin flames are actually split within the material realms. So, for example, and that's why in very rare instances, one individual may be a split and monadic too, but that is very, 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 very rare. Ah, and then, so going back to that, so essentially, a lot of what monadics and split souls experience are very similar. And like I spoke about it last week, what monadic twin flames go through, and the different stages of separation and union is quite similar. It's just that with split soul twin flames, the pain is extreme. Monadic twin flames, the pain is extreme too. But split soul twin flames is a different kind of pain. So the difference lies in the kind of pain you guys experience. And again, pain is pain. You can't really put a place. How do I put it? You can't really define pain. To each its own, right? And then I spoke about how monadic twin flames, it's more of like overcoming your ego and dealing with issues centered to like your character and your understanding and your evolution in this world. For split soul twin flames, you guys have to take one step back and really, really focus. I mean, it's the same as well, but you're just doing it like quite differently. So, for instance, you first meet your twin flame, right? And you guys are super excited. You go through this honeymoon phase, everything goes really well. And then suddenly, your divine masculine disappears without a word, or say something like, I'm not interested in you, or, I've never felt this way before, or not in, I've never felt this way before, but rather, I don't feel anything towards you. And then that's it. You have nothing concrete to explain what you guys feel. And then after, you start dealing with why you're feeling this pain. And then it goes, and that's when you go through intense awakening. You go through the dark night of the soul because the pain is so unbearable and you don't know where else to go. You talk to your friends, they're going to ask you to move on. You talk to like a counselor, they're going to ask you to look into how you are in different relationships. But no one has an answer, you see, unless you are in the journey, experiencing it yourself. You would not be able to get the guidance from someone who doesn't even understand or know. But again, there's so many different ways you can start healing as well. Healing through talking is a big thing as well. And like I had explained in my previous video, I do healing via speaking as well. So my clients just speak with me and I do the healing at the same time. So it's a conversation and healing. So you can do Reiki that way, any form of healing modality. And that's really good because often when you talk about it, you realize that hey, I didn't know that I've been holding back on a lot of this. I never viewed this problem in this way before, or I didn't know the extent of which it has affected me. Because it takes a lot to even talk about what you're traumatized about. And the truth is, everyone goes through this kind of trauma. So Jack has a question. What's the biggest difference between the two? Like I explained, the split occurs in different levels. Again, the understanding. So monadics tend to react a bit differently to the pain, whereas split soul tend to recede into a shell. And that's why, if you notice, with split soul twin flames, it takes much longer. So in terms of timeline wise, split soul twin flames tend to follow the structure more than monadics. Monadics can happen anytime. Union can literally happen anytime because it's all in the energy. And a lot of monadic twin flames are star seeds as well. So they come in with different experiences, different past life issues, different this and that. So once they are like ready, once they are vibrating high, they get into union. Whereas split soul twin flames tend to have incarnated a lot more in the lower dimensions. So they tend to take on a lot of a lot of issues, in other words. And that's why the healing has become more extensive in that regard. Becca, I have an empathy listening partner to really hear my thoughts aloud like this. So yeah, you see, actually just speaking it out. That's why sometimes I would recommend my clients just book like a psychic Zoom session with me and just let's just talk through it. And when you talk through it, you will see a huge shift. Belinda, our talks have helped me so much. Oh, thank you so much, Belinda. That is so sweet and it means a lot. So, back to it. A core part of trying to understand what is going on is to completely release everything, and also releasing the objective of being in union. Like I said, union is not a destination, it's more of a journey. And people think like, oh, once I'm in union, it's going to be all perfect. No, if you guys don't maintain a certain frequency, you guys are going to separate and not even choose to be with one another again. And then you will go through all these cycles of incarnating again in planets like Earth and going through a series of lessons before having the opportunity of union again. So, some twin flames tend to enter Earth because it's one of the toughest places to understand who you are. And that's why twin flames select this as like biggest challenge. It's like literally entering Hunger Games or Squid Games. You are going in with no knowledge of who you are on a soul level, no knowledge that you're a twin flame, and then you meet this person and you have no clue how to handle this journey. Yes, Jack, Reiki definitely helps with shadow work. I hope you guys are all enjoying this, guys. I know I keep talking and I don't really see much questions, but thanks for the questions that have come in so far. But I also understand that a lot of y'all like watch this after. So back to the challenges of split soul twin flames. Another big key factor is to stop living in that romantic zone of, you see, romance is good, daydreaming is good, fantasizing is good, visualizing is good. But from what energy are you doing these things? Are you doing it from a lack of, or are you doing it from a abundance mindset? Because when you do it from an abundance mindset, you'll realize that you are actually manifesting your twin into your life. You will see more of him, you will manifest communication. But if you're doing it from, oh, we are never going to be together, he only lives in my mind, I only communicate with him in 5D, and that's about it, then you are going to attract that outcome. That's why it goes back to how you're feeling at that moment. And sometimes you may feel like, I can't shift from that position. I'm so used to thinking that this is what my twin flame is going to do that I can't even imagine the prospect of union. So my solution to that will be don't think anything at all. Because if you're going to think, I'm going to be in union or I'm not going to be in union, you're creating stress to your timeline, and you're also creating stress to what is going to happen, because when you start having a certain vision, you have expectations, and these expectations tend to strangle you a lot. So when you don't think anything at all, you just go with the flow, you just do things like you would always do. Go to work, be happy, be with your friends, spend time with your family, travel, do things that actually enliven your soul, like enlightens you. And that's when healing actually starts happening as well. So there's no one way to healing. Of course, alternative healing therapies do work magic, and I've been an healer for such a long time, and I've met so many different kinds of clients. I can say that it does help, but also recognition and doing things you love has a positive effect on yourself. And then you would realize that you would stop chasing union. You will no longer ask questions like, when am I going to be in union? How long is it going to take for me to get in union? It's not about that person anymore. It'll be more like, hey, I'm really feeling happy about myself. Um, I can't. I can't express how excited I am about my new freedom. I actually love being with myself. That's why self love is a big part of this journey. If you have no self love, it's going to backfire big time. So, example, you have no self love at all. All your life, you have been needy. You know, I don't mean to say needy in a bad way. A lot of a lot of you might have grown up in situations where you're either over sheltered, under sheltered, overprotected, underprotected, anything. And when you're going through that, you would notice how you tend to respond to situations differently. A lot of twin flames in the beginning, what they tend to do is set a lot of expectations with their divine masculine, and that's the reason why he runs. And it's all about rushing union and being together 24/7. And that's why, Jack, thanks for saying that. It's all about self union first. When you unite with yourself, you unite with your twin. So it's kind of like a metaphorical projection of that. I had such a bad cough. So I'm like hydrating myself so that I don't go into a coughing fit while I'm doing this live. The pain, I'm going to talk a bit about the pain that one goes through while being a split soul twin flame. The pain is a kind of, the first stage is you feel completely disoriented. You can't feel the difference between anything at all. In your heart, in your mind, wherever you are, you just want to be with your divine masculine. The desperation, one end, and the yearning, another end, is so high. All you want to do is be with your twin flame. And it would feel like death sometimes. You just feel like ending everything and just being with your twin flame. So, Linda's question is one major difference between split soul twin flames and monadic twin flames that they can incarnate again, whereas monadic, this is their last incarnation? Okay, that's a very good question. Okay, guys, the whole thing about last incarnation can be quite misleading because the soul is eternal and the journey is always ongoing. And for split souls and monadic, they both have an opportunity to have this as their last incarnation and move on to higher dimensional planets. For monadics, they already come from higher dimensional planets, so it's like going home. For split souls, they can choose to stay on Earth and be advanced masters and teachers, or it can be their last incarnation too. So it applies for both. And last incarnation, a lot of souls actually come into Earth, deciding this is my last incarnation, but then they go on and they keep coming back again. So that's why that is one of those things that you as a soul decide when you are on Earth itself. See, it's just that on Earth there's so much brainwashing when it comes to healing and cycles and lessons, that it becomes so unpleasant that one is not able to completely understand what is going on. And then they don't know how to get out of Earth either. A lot of individuals tend to feel trapped. They don't know how. Because it does feel like inception, right? You don't know, you don't remember how you came from. You probably your earliest memory is probably when you're about 4 or 5 years old. For some, maybe 2 or 3. But that's about it. Where were you before that? If you can remember that, then you're awakening to who you are on the soul level. But if you believe what this is, the Maya, the illusion of this world, then it's going to take a long time to. So you can come into Earth, leave in one lifetime, or you can come into Earth, spend like 10, 20 lifetimes, and leave Earth, or you can be trapped eternally on Earth. It's like being trapped in a simulation. You are dependent on the simulation, and the simulation is kind of dependent on you. If not, Earth can't exist. So souls power the simulation. So that's why the movie Matrix is a metaphorical representation of what is happening. So it's instead of being used like batteries, your soul is what creates Earth. If there are no souls, there's no Earth. How can Earth exist without souls? So that's when a lot of manipulation, hacking, and Earth is like this giant. Earth is the most diverse planet in the universe. You have got star seeds from all over the universe. Literally, it's like a meeting point of all sorts. And that's why you have got like mission planning going on. You have got a lot of things are happening on Earth which you don't even realize as a human being. Sometimes, if you just focus on the night sky or if you just focus on the energies around you, you will realize that there's so much happening that is beyond your comprehension. And in order to get to that level of comprehension, you need to become light. Like you have to put away all your conditionings and seek your soul. And that's why praying to God is like key, because when you come to a point where you don't understand anything, you go back to your soul, to your inside, and that's when you wail out to God and ask, like, literally, why am I on this planet and what the hell am I doing? And you will be guided. Trust me, guys, you're always guided in the right direction. So it's literally a matter of calling out to God and asking for guidance. And often this happens during separation phase. But even before you have met your twin flame, you would tend to have gone through that spiritual awakening realization kind of themes. Constantly you will have this mini awakenings, mini dark night of the souls. And then it goes down to mission. It's not all about just, if you are looking for romance, then soulmates are great. Karmics, even better, because you're guaranteed marriage, you're guaranteed kids, but then eventually it's going to break off. And if you notice, at the speed a karmic connection progresses, it happens so quickly. you meet your karmic partner, you fall in love, and within like 3 4 months you're married, and then the next thing you know you have children. Soulmates take a little while, with the courtship and the progression. Twin flame takes the longest. So that's why would you rush for union when you know it's not going to be the best? Hi Amber, I'm good. How are you? Good to see you too. MJ has got a comment. How do you feel about DF, split soul, who feels she's totally healed? She's doing everything right, so has to block her DM and stay away from him because she feels a DM is not doing anything to improve himself. He's not acting right with her, blames her for everything he does. So she says she's too far ahead to be dragged down by him. How do you feel about that? Thanks, MJ. You always have the best questions, and this is something that I would like to spend some time talking about. So the balance of healing. Sometimes you may feel that I'm awakening, I'm doing all this, but my DM is not. And you feel like, what am I supposed to do with this situation? Shouldn't everything happen in sync? But the moment you're actually asking these questions, you know that you still have to heal. Because when you come to that level, when you're fully healed, it wouldn't matter what your DM does. But that doesn't mean, you got to tolerate what he does either. And too far ahead, that tends to happen because usually the divine feminine tends to get a grasp of the journey, and she starts working on herself, and then her DM is far behind. So sometimes what you can do is you can drop down to your DM's level to actually understand what is going on with him, and slowly you will be able to heal your divine masculine that way too. Another thing is, one may speak from the perspective of ego as well. They keep saying, "Oh, I'm healed, I'm better, I've done all my work." But the truth is, every single day you need to heal. Healing is not something that, 100% healed, and if you're 100% healed and enlightened, it wouldn't matter to you anymore if you're with your DM or not. And if you're 100% healed and enlightened, you have the opportunity to choose not to be on earth. And when you're on earth, it's like we wear a human body, you wear issues as well. It's more of recognizing this from a higher perspective. And that's why this question is really good, because you feel like I'm doing everything right, but why my DM is not doing anything at all? This is a lesson in patience as well, and your trust and faith in God as well. And when you ask these questions to God, you'll realize that your divine masculine, he's actually releasing. He's releasing a lot. And that's why he keeps projecting on you. Oh, wow, MJ, that's wonderful. MJ's channeling and my channeling are so in sync. Oh dear, she deleted a post. Ah, I see. That's what I was wondering. Oh, what a question from MJ. But yeah, so I want you guys to remove that I am better than my twin. You can't be better. There is no such thing as I'm better, I'm more healed, I am doing everything. No. In fact, in a lot of cases, your divine masculine is actually more healed. He's just watching you from a distance thinking you're a fool who thinks that you know everything, blah, blah, blah. But still, you crush at the moment he talks to someone else, or you crush at the moment he wouldn't communicate with you. That is what your DM is actually essentially trying to build for you, confidence. It's helping you realize how important it is for you to love yourself and enjoy being in your own skin. And that is what's happening between you both. Like MJ says, the DF leads the DM and through, and his job is to trigger her. Yes. And every time you get triggered, you realize that you're releasing more and more. And all this release is something that you never even thought about. So for example, you had this underlying fear of something, or there was something that happened in your childhood that you just buried. But then, after all the triggering, everything gets released, and then you start feeling lighter, you start glowing. You and oh, another thing I wanted to talk about is like dating. After meeting your twin flame, a lot of divine feminines tell me that they have a hard time dating or seeing someone else. And often, when they are with someone else or try to be with someone else, somehow they can feel their divine masculine's energies around them. But on the other hand, the DM does all of that, like try to be someone or try to date someone just to trigger you, to see how possessive or obsessive you can get. So it's part of the process as well. So, for example, often the divine masculine has the tendency to lie. So he would say, oh, I'm seeing someone, I'm dating someone, or, something along the lines. In actual fact, they actually aren't. Amber's comment. I feel they go through hard things more behind closed doors and we don't always know or aren't aware. But then they tell you things, and I think you can figure out it's hard for them too. Yes, Lisa. Belinda, my twin triggers me, but I know it is to show me something I need to release and heal. Yes, and that is another part of this journey that you would not expect. So what happens after a long period of separation, you guys get together. But during the separation, you may have developed further issues. Could be with the partner you have been, or with a series of partners you have been, or with life in itself, with work, with raising children. And you go into this protective mode, so you're trying to protect who you are. And that's when you start setting expectations, for instance. But you don't see that your twin has also gone through a set of issues there. So there'll be a lot of misunderstanding, the initial period of union. So there's another level of triggering. So separation, union, separation, union. So that would go on for a while as well. Oh, there's another question. Oh yeah, I think Jack, go refer to your reading. Yes. Okay, shadow work, there are different levels you could do. One is, through healing like Reiki, Isis, Sachem, crystal healing, any kind of healing modality that you resonate or you connect with the healer, you can pick one of that. Another thing is dealing with it. So there's this thing called Enneagram. So, it identifies your personality, your shadow side, and all that. You can explore into like personality tests like that to identify what your shadows are as well. Most important thing is you recognize what your shadow side is, because often there is no recognition to that. So that's what I would suggest. And for instance, you have no clue where to start, how to start. You can always, like, my clients, like, they would contact me, they would, just book one of those psychic sessions and just talk about it. And when you talk about it, you actually get clarity, because each one of y'all have a very unique journey on this planet. So sometimes general advice is not going to quite help you because your experiences, your purpose is different to others. So, how can that advice apply? Oh, there was like 10 seconds of silence. I know it must be like a weird time everywhere. Like in the US, it's probably like 2 a.m. right now. You're most welcome, Jack. Pray to God, like really. MJI, the whole team, we always say that, like connect to God, and that's the best point of guidance when you're very lost for anything in life, not only when you're on a twin flame journey, for anything. Example, you're changing jobs, you're looking for a new job, you're in a country all by yourself, or there's a great shift in your circumstances. Always go back to God. And God doesn't have to be religious, guys. There is a thin line between religion and spirituality. The thing is, religion is a way to be part of community. Spirituality is universal. Everyone is connected to the same God, ultimately, in that way. Oh, good night, Rachel, from Trinidad. I'm a monadic, but I enjoy learning all about all the TFs. Stay sweet, stay sweet, Bye. Oh, thanks, Rachel. Yes, because there are a lot of similarities between monadics and split soul as well. And that's why even last week when I did all about monadics, there were still some things that apply to split soul twin flames as well. So some of these advice tends to overlap, but ultimately your journey is unique. May you be a split soul twin flame or a monadic twin flame, remember your journey is 100% unique. So you can't really compare it with someone you know who is a twin flame, or you can't because there's so much more to your connection than what you see. It's all love. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up. So if you guys have any questions, it's a good time to ask me now. I hope I have explained. So, in summary, split soul twin flames tend to experience the pain of separation in extreme circumstances. Quite different to monadics, but pain is pain. There are a lot of lessons split soul twin flames have to overcome, and one is healing through issues not only in present lifetime but past lives as well. So when you are in that position where you're healed, your vibration transforms and you realize that you're vibrating at this certain vibration. Thirdly, once you're in that level, you realize you're going to get glimpses of your twin, but still he's going to trigger you in many aspects. So you're going to feel him triggering you, and all that is released. Every time he triggers you, it's actually good because you get better. You're not going to be triggered any longer. So for example, um, your twin shares something on social media, and in the past it used to trigger you, probably 10 times it will trigger you, but then it will come to a point where it doesn't matter anymore, and then you start being genuinely happy for your twin, for instance, because you accept them for who they are. And it's so important in this journey to actually accept your divine counterpart for who they are. Another thing is, you may, as a divine feminine, you may also always only think about you and think that, oh, my DM is doing this, he's hurting me. But maybe there's something that you are doing that's hurting him too. So that's why always open the dialogue to find out that what is it that you may be doing that's pushing you away. Some circumstances you can't ask your twin, but try to put yourself in their shoes as well. They may be going through a lot more pressure because they have no support. They don't know what the twin flame journey is. They don't hang out in communities, which predominantly tends to be divine feminines who do. And if they talk to their friends about this journey, they're just going to set them up with someone else. Simple as that. That's what boys do, like bring them clubbing or date. And And to them, it's like, why are you fixated on one girl? Just move on. Oh, MJ, how can you be a star seed? Yeah, you can't. So, Earth, Earthlings are from Earth. So, you can't be a star seed and an Earth angel. Unless, you're on a different planet, then in a different planet, you'll be a star seed. That's about it. So, Earth angels, their planet of origin is Earth. Yes, your twin is your greatest teacher and healer as well. Another thing is, you may wonder why I keep talking about it, but you guys have to connect to God and pray to God, and not pray per se, have a conversation, like really, really, really seek guidance, because sometimes your journey has got so many layers, mission protections. That's why sometimes you may feel that, why are you going through this? Why do I have to go through separation right now? Oh, everything seems to be in alignment, but yet, why can't? So there'll be something related to a mission purpose. You guys have to do certain things before you guys unite. Because once you unite, like ultimate union, your energies become one. And when it becomes one, it starts glowing and it's so bright. So to stay hidden, some twins are in separation as well. And it's also part of the overall ascension. So at the right time, the right things will happen. In the meanwhile, it's so important to be patient and start healing and start dealing with issues one at a time. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up for this week because, I've been coughing so much. So I'm going to give my voice a bit of rest as well. I think Amber has a question. Thank you so much. Interesting to learn more about the different types. I always love your lives. I accept him for who he is and want him to be the best version of himself. Does James have any messages for me? All right, guys, I'll do a bit of channeling as you guys have been requesting. James' higher self wants you to know that all of his triggers and tests are meant to help you grow, and he's very proud that you are able to understand what is going on and evolve. So that is the reason why, keep being you, and he wants you to know that he loves you a lot, and the kind of love that he feels for you and has for you can't be expressed in words. Oh, thanks, Jack. Oh, thanks, MJ, for all the hearts. So, anyone else before I wrap up? I will try to, probably I will do this timing next week too. Belinda, does M have any messages for me? We had a tough week. Oh, M wants you to know that he's trying so hard. He's trying so hard to understand you, and he understands that you have gone through a lot yourself. And he's in a lot of pain because he wants to give you the best life out there, and sometimes he doesn't know what he needs to do. And so he has been thinking a lot about your connection as well. So his messages to you would be, you know, to try to find out what is going with him, and he's yearning for your love actually, Belinda. Linda, how is Darren feeling now about our connection? Or he's not liking that physical separation, and he really wants to get on that plane and come and see you. So there's a lot of excitement coming up for you, Linda, and I'm really, really excited for you both. Amber, thank you so much. I feel like he's been feeling sad lately, so I'm sending him love. Or keep doing that. Rachel, does KK have any messages for me as well? KK wants you to know that you just keep doing you, keep living life as though KK is with you and around you. And KK's higher self is always there. So if you just connect, and if you spend more time connecting with KK's higher self, you will feel that unconditional love. Shay, I would love any messages from Frank. The last week or two has been rough for me. Oh, I'm so sorry, Shay. Mercury retrograde tends to amplify that a lot. It just makes things worse. Again, Frank is, like I had said last week as well, he's still in a very complicated position. He's still hiding a lot. He doesn't want to come out of his shell. He feels very comfortable being trapped there. And on one hand, he loves you a lot, but he just doesn't know how to express it or do anything to reveal his love in the physical. But he wants you to know that you guys will always be together, and there will come a time when you guys will be together. Oh, thanks, Twila. Um, I get well soon. I enjoyed learning more about split souls. Oh, thank you so much. You guys are so amazing. Thanks for all your well wishes. Belinda, thank you so much. I appreciate that message. Oh, you're so welcome. Linda, you're so welcome. It's been so long. Does TK think about me in 3D? Oh, he does. He does. TK thinks a lot about you in 3D, more than you would ever know. And often, when you are thinking about TK, he's actually thinking about you too. So, you guys are quite in sync. So that's really good. So he does think. It's just that often when you're in separation, you feel like your divine masculine doesn't think about you at all. But they actually do. Oh, thanks, Belinda. Jack, how is my TF feeling about the connection right now? Right now, I sense a lot of stress. I sense a lot of pain, probably something related to his circumstances right now. And your TF is feeling a lot of pressure from day to day life. But that is going to change. And and because of that, it's affecting the way your TF feels about the connection right now, because there's so much stress and pain going on in his external circumstances. But yet again, he does step into that place of pure love, and he understands that, there's something more to this life than everything that's going on right now. So that's how he feels about the connection. Pamela, does EP have any messages for me? EP wants you to just stay strong and hang in there, and things will get better soon. Jessica, any messages from Usman? We fell out last night. Oh, things will get better. Internally, he wants to try to repair things, so he will come back. So things will get better. Jessica, just hang in there. AP, yeah. Oh, that's so nice to hear. Thanks. You're welcome. You're welcome, Jack. All right, guys. You guys have a splendid week, and happy October to all of you. If you guys want a paid reading, guys can always DM me. I'll be able to schedule appointments quite quickly with the psychic Zoom session. So if you want something much earlier, you can always book a session where I do live channeling. Also, and there's so many readings and healings I offer. You can always check out my file. And if you have enjoyed this video, please show give a thumbs up as well. And yeah, I'm so excited, Really, I am so proud of you guys. You guys have done so well, and I am so proud of you. You guys have expanded, grown, evolved. You guys are taking the world by storm. It's truly, truly amazing, what you guys have been doing. And I can't wait to see you all live your best lives. All right. Again, if you guys want a customized reading or healing, you guys can directly DM me to I do have a lot of readings. If you look at my album, there's a wide variety. But again, if you guys want something much quicker, I can always schedule you for a Zoom session. Yes, I know. I mean, your soul reports usually take a while, and the reason it happens is because I do channeling at different stages, and that's why it takes a longer time to complete because I just want to be thorough. Even if it's a mini soul report, I tend to. So probably another week or two. I know you must be excited, but you will be blown away by your soul reading. Trust me, it's going to blow your mind away and it will be worth the wait. And thank you for all, who do wait for my readings as well. And sometimes there are some reasons, some are mission related, some because, it, for certain shifts to happen before you know that information. So there's some things that do affect certain readings as well. But you guys will get your readings and everything will be well. Oh, yes, of course, Amber. You're most welcome, Linda. Absolutely a joy to do this every week. I will see you all soon. Take care and all the best. And I'll see you all next week with another awesome topic. All right. Take care and bye bye.